So at the start of the heat of the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup, race number 6, St Paul's School, the holders of the event on the Berkshire Station, against the Scots College, Australia, on the Buckinghamshire Station. Big race for this time of the regatta in the morning.
Yeah, Scots yesterday had the issue. They were the crew that hit the umbrella that was on the river. And the cock's here, 13 years old. Great composure.
Both of these schools have won this event previously. A big showdown, really, for a Thursday morning.
Yeah, Sydney were 5th in the schools championships in the Sydney International Regatta.
Obviously, St Paul's Schools won the national schools again this year, so very established crew.
Go!
Squeeze off. You can hear the coxes there. Squeeze. And the power comes in.
And let's see if Scots managed to cope with this coming off the end of the island and stay on their station. Yeah, both crews nice and clean there going off. Really look at the aggression there. They're just real, absolute, as hard as they can go to get the boat speed up as fast as they can. St Paul seemed to have slightly the better there after the first 30-40 seconds of racing.
And we saw in that score was how quick St Paul's were off blocks when they took a demanding lead and then hung on. So they're not a crew that hangs around off the blocks.
No, I think they caught everybody off guard at national schools because they played quite cleverly going through the rounds to make sure they conserved some energy. But then in the final, they were so brave to go out really hard, and nobody lived with them.
And that's something for schoolboys to do. Is, you know, quite incredible, really, to have that belief and faith.
Yeah, and I think it's been tough for them. They've had last year they were the most amazing crew.
It's the best junior crew ever.
Exactly, for sure. And this year they've had quite an unsettled crew year. They've had injury and illness, and it's not been smooth. And it's almost like it goes so smoothly last year, and suddenly actually I have to reinvent this again. So I think the confidence from last year made a difference, despite not having the form this year.
And I think that's a great environment Bobby Thatcher's created there. You know, when it's going well, we're brilliant. When it's not going so well, we're able to reinvent ourselves and think about new ways of doing things and get the best out of each other. Yeah. They're just
and look at this again, just what they've just done in the first 2 minutes. I mean, they're definitely sending a message to the rest of all these foreign crews that come over, like, we are still a serious crew this year. Just
we're still number one.
We're still number one, exactly. And the Scots here, they've obviously a really aggressive start there. And just, unfortunately, St Paul have just had greater speed. And, you know, look at Bobby. He's a great coach now, and he's producing great results. It wasn't always like that. He has really learned his craft, at first at Latimer and here now at St Paul's. And I just love the way his crews row.
And that's the thing, as an athlete, you know, sometimes it takes time to make that transition from an athlete to become a really great coach, isn't it? You've got to do your apprenticeship, I guess, and like kind of learn, develop, find your own methods and mythology of doing things.
And I think the biggest learning for me as a coach was the point at which I stopped coaching myself. Because you sort of know what you were bad at and what you were taught to do and what you were capable of doing. And when you have started to realise that actually there's people you're coaching who are far more talented than you, can do stuff that you can't do. So you don't know what that feels like. So you've got to find a way of making them do stuff that you've never done.
And how you interpret that, the language you use and the choice of words and those sort of things are really important.
Yeah, and just giving them an opportunity to explore and figure it out for themselves, because you can't really explain feeling, can you? You can't tell somebody what it feels like. You've just got to create an environment where they can go, oh, that's right, now I know what it really... And they can say, and then they try to tell you what it feels like. They can't speak properly. So when an athlete goes, oh yeah, I got that right, we did this, they can't explain it. And here, really straightforward, isn't it?
And I suppose that's what you want as a coach, because obviously you do so much work in training, but when it comes to racing, there's nothing you can do.
Like, no, you are powerless.
Like, it's literally up to the crew to go out and do their thing. It's their showpiece.
It is, and the coaches have to sit in this launch here and watch this, and they're not allowed to say a single thing. And you look, again, confidence. They've brought the rate down, kept their pattern of rowing really straightforward.
And this is quite hard to do in an 8, especially. You know, bring that kind of workload down, the cadence down, the rate down.
Yeah.
And still being composed to not let it get too heavy, sluggish.
I think you can drop it to 30 and still keep it quite lively, but that next bit down, unless you're going to go much slower to 20 and make it a nice paddle, the high 20, that's really hard, you're right, to get that right. And this put the Scots boys still putting everything in to try and salvage something out of this. Still, they're a good crew. They're rowing really nicely. Just haven't got the same pace that St Paul's have.
But I think it shows the depth of talent we have here in schoolboy rowing now. You know, you've got Radley, you've got Shipley College. You know, there's some really fast crews there now. So,
and I heard Scots College were quick at the Bosban in Australia. So it's going to be really interesting. And even yesterday there was some eights. I think it was launched in school, rowed through. I can't remember who it was yesterday. Half length down the whole way down the course, rowed through them to win. And here, I mean, here, St Paul's School really showing the difference in how they row. And I love the way when you look at this crew, how when they finish the stroke, their bodies and their heads are completely stationary. So it's the only time when the seat, the head, and the boat are going the same speed, and they just sit still and then let the hands move away really patiently. And that's so efficient.
And I think also, you know, when I think about they row on the tideway as well, so to be able to do those drills and skills is even more challenging because it's moving, the water underneath is constantly moving, it's never stationary.
Yeah, it's difficult. You've got different speeds of water on either side of the boat and everything. But here, this just shows you, it's the kind of pattern they will be doing every day, 20k, sit still at the finish, let the boat accelerate, and then slide into the front. And that's been the hallmark of this crew.
Yeah, so obviously the crews will, as we mentioned, St Paul's will train the tideway, but during their kind of holiday season at school, they'll go on training camps. Each school will go to a different location that suits their needs, and they've been there before.
I think St Paul's go to Portugal, I think, and go on training camp there over Easter. And again, it gets the kids away from school. They only think about rowing and a bit of A-level revision in between.
You create that high-performance environment, don't you? You know, you kind of introduce them to what it's like being on training camp, monitoring themselves, you know, being sensible, being smart, recovery.
And these boys are training, and also the Australian crew, they're training twice a day some days. And it's phenomenal that they've managed to get the degrees and go to these different universities and still train that much. Yeah, an exhibition here by St Paul's.
And it's impressive, like, you know, Joseph Middleton there, the stroke at the St Paul's School. Dad Tom Middleton, ex-international athlete lightweight.
Yeah, Ollie Parrish as well, his father's a former Olympian. Yeah, the next generation of kids are coming up.
Better than their fathers, though.
Definitely.
So St Paul's School crossed the line, winning that heat, the Princess Elizabeth Challenge Cup against the Scots College of Australia, and St Paul's will progress on to tomorrow to face St Edward's School.